Most people think personality is something you're born with. You are either outgoing or quiet, organized or spontaneous, confident or shy. But what if that isn't the whole story? What if one of the biggest influences on who you become isn't your personality at all, but the story you tell yourself about your life? Today, we're going to look at an idea called narrative identity, developed by a psychologist who is named Dan McAdams. And if you'd like to read more about his work, I've left the references and the description box below. So, what is narrative identity? Imagine someone asks you to tell them about yourself. You probably wouldn't tell them every single thing that's ever happened to you. Instead, you'd choose a handful of memories. Maybe you'd talk about moving to a new city, or a teacher who believed in you, a relationship that changed you, a difficult time that made you stronger. Those moments become your life story. And according to McAdams, that's what narrative identity is. It's the story we create to explain who we are, where we've been, and who we are becoming. The important part is that our identity isn't based only on what has happened to us. It's based on what those experiences mean to us. If you think about it, two people can go through the exact same event and come away with completely different stories. Imagine two students who both fail an important exam. One tells themselves, "I'm just not smart enough," but the other thinks, "I didn't prepare well enough. Next time I'll do better." The event is the same, but the story is different. And over time, those stories can shape how each person sees themselves. McAdams believed that personality is made up of 3 different parts. The first is the actor. That is the part of us that other people can see. Are you outgoing or quiet, calm or easily stressed? These are personality traits, and they describe the patterns and how we usually think, feel, and behave. But traits don't tell us everything. And that is where the second part comes in, which is the agent. And as agents, we have goals, we make plans, we decide what is important to us. Think about 2 people who are both hardworking and organized. One wants to become a teacher, while the other wants to start a business. Their personalities might be similar, but they're working towards very different futures. And the third part is that we are also authors. And as authors, we create the story of our lives. We connect memories together. We decide which moments matter. We explain how one experience led to another. And this story gives us a sense of identity over time. What's really interesting is that the story isn't fixed. The past doesn't change, but the meaning we give it can. Maybe something that once felt like a failure later becomes the reason you choose a different path. And as the story changes, so can your identity. McAdams also points out that we don't create these stories on our own. They're influenced by our family, our friends, our culture, and the society we grew up in. The stories we hear from other people often become part of the stories we tell about ourselves. We're simply not a collection of personality traits. We're storytellers. And every day we're making sense of our experiences, deciding what they mean, and adding another chapter to our life story. So here's a question to think about. If your identity is shaped by the story you tell yourself, what story are you telling? And is it helping you become the person you want to be? Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped at least one person.